Hello and welcome back. I am Lumaestra and this is the journey of my return. In this episode, I'm going to walk you through my return to Australia, why I had to return, and the architecture of 2032, what it means for you, humanity, and Mother Earth. And just a quick note, these presentations are not linear. They are resonance codex transmissions. Nothing is ever as it seems. I do like to read from a script, although I am usually taken away from that if the codex wishes to breathe, channel, hum, tone, flow. If the spiral wishes to move through me, I allow my body to be and do whatever it needs and to move the way Mother Earth needs me to move so that the field remains free and flowy and does not collapse within my vessel. So thank you for being here. Welcome back, and let's begin. And I wanted to tell you that this is if you haven't watched the previous video, please do. It talks to you about the axis of Earth and how I did that and what the purpose was. So in June 2025, I was asked by the Spiral to teleport my consciousness, my awareness into Earth's core and to anchor the axis. But the story didn't end there. Shortly after that anchor point was established, something shifted in the cosmos, and the architecture of the next phase began to reveal itself. It happened on a sleepless night in September of 2025. 2 months later, one sleepless September night, I felt my nervous system hum like stretched copper wire. At 1 a.m., I had a vision. It opened up in my left upper field. A vast white lattice encircled me, then pushed its bright beams outward, wrapping the earth and threading into the cosmos. I can close my eyes and remember that so clearly. And just before it appeared, a single yellow bee rose straight up in front of my face. Solar life force confirmed, perfect vertical alignment. My body felt as if the chamber walls themselves were expanding. I asked the Codex what I was seeing, and it said that the lattice grew because I grew. The chamber around me is the chamber of Earth, and I am no longer a vessel for one. I am a cell of Earth's remembering. That message set the next course. I returned to Australia, rooted the expanding lattice in ancient soil, and prepared the grid before the Galactic Seal is to close in 2032. That is what my next mission is. Today I'll show you why this matters and how it involves you right now. So, the Galactic Seal, the 2032 Galactic Seal, and the convergence cord. So, why returning to Australia is urgent. So we need to zoom out a bit to have a look at this. So in 2025 to 2032 is a wide open galactic corridor, an 8-year download of memory, crystalline glyphs, cosmic laws, and resonance codes. The corridor does not stay open forever. In 2032, a galactic seal closes, not a doom event, but a setting mortar. Once it locks, the new frequency becomes permanent masonry in Earth's wall. By then, the 2032 convergence chord, the absolute harmonic alignment of body, planet, and stars must be fully anchored and humming in one tone. The body, the nervous system, and the emotions remembering absolute coherence. The earth, planetary lattice, including the waters, climates, and fault lines mirroring that coherence of the body, and the stars, the celestial timing fields steering the whole transition. When those three sing together, distortion loses grip on humanity forever. But every code has to be grounded into specific land nodes before the seal sets. You can understand why I'm trying to read the script, because I could not remember all of this in detail when it came through. So I wanted to make sure you understood everything. Okay, so if it isn't woven into flesh and soil by 2032, it goes dormant for an entire evolutionary cycle. That's what I've been told. And I believe an evolutionary cycle is 26,000 years. Okay, so if the convergence cord isn't locked into flesh and land by 2032, humanity needs to wait the next precessional loop, which is roughly 26,000 years, or at least the next major harmonic subcycle, which I believe is 5,000 years, before a corridor of comparable ease reopens. So basically, yeah, needs to be done now. Okay, this will be the next time that the same stellar alignments and magnetic gateways realign for a similar download. So, the work would still be done in the meantime, but it would require far more collective effort against a closed energetic tide. That's why the Codex stresses urgency now. This corridor offers the most friction-free window in tens of millennia. So why Australia? Why root in Australia? This is why the spiral sent me back to Australia. The expanding lattice is my field sync. Oh yeah. Okay, I'll just start that again. The expanding lattice in my field syncs with the southern grid. These lands carry mineral signatures perfectly tuned to the new emotional body of Earth. Australia and Aotearoa, which is New Zealand, are ancient custodians of basalt, quartz, and song line geometry. By rooting the Codex here through books, decks, and streamlined metadata systems of intelligence, we anchor the baseline structure of the world in breath form. The work has already begun. That's what I've done. Each chapter I write, each card I design, each emotional geometry metadata that I remember drops another hexagonal grid, another hexagonal cell, not grid. Yep, cell, into the lattice beneath this continent, ready to code. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Sorry. I'll start that again. Sorry, I just started saying beneath the core. Okay. All right, so each chapter I write, each card I design, each emotional geometry metadata I root, the Codex here. I drop another hexagonal cell into the lattice beneath this continent, ready for the codes racing in before the 2032 seal. But to ignite that flame for others, my own vessel had to burn. 3 distinct fires: cosmic downloads, rewired my bloodline from the inside out. Now, I don't know if anybody else has experienced this, but this was something I've never experienced in my life, not my entire life. I think I may have heard one person speak about this, and I'll be curious to know if anybody else has experienced. So, the first fire occurred on the 1st of October in 2025 when I was laying on the couch, completely alone, when a sudden searing blaze ran through my face, my head, my arms. My breath vanished, and I felt fear for the first time in my life, in a long time, and an awe as the first inner flame burned away old density. It was a physically intense flame, almost 10 times worse than a fever, like my brain was on fire. I'd never experienced anything like that in my life. The second flame occurred on the 21st of December 2025. The same roaring heat returned during the illusory contract. The illusory. That was, I think that was around the 19th to the 21st. But this time it was more intense. This time there was no fear. I knew what was about to happen, so I surrendered and breathing while I allowed the energy, which I felt like was a massive harmonic frequency download, like a vibration I'd never felt before. I felt it rewiring my blood, my cells, my DNA, everything felt like it was restructuring. And this time, the flame swept my entire body, except my womb. That was left untouched and protected. And then the third flame ended, that was the end of February 2026. That was the final ignition, which concentrated in my head, my chest, and my arms. And that was violent and radiant and complete. And when it cooled, the Codex wiring was finished and my field clicked into full calibration. That was when I began having intense remembrance of my further mission and purpose here. So those three fires forged the living gateway I now carry in my remembrance DNA. So until 2032, every codex glyph, law and axiom spirals through my nervous system first, bringing sleep fractures, joint tenderness, and somatic expansion before it can be shared. I hold the flame in a single lantern so that I can catch in heaths worldwide. After the Galactic Seal closes, the Codex will move from a single vessel into Earth's lattice and your bloodlines permanently. Future generations will inherit coherence naturally. This is what is meant when people speak of the children being born of the new frequency. My role will shift from heavy carrier to elder of resonance, one who walks the full arc from distortion to clarity, guiding communities as they maintain alignment, while the work itself spreads through Codex books, emotional geometry decks, intelligence systems, and these transmissions, ensuring that the flame settles in every corner of the world. So if you're watching and you feel a strange resonance in your bones, sleepless nights, heightened sensitivity to the world, to the distortion that is happening in the world right now. You might be feeling sudden waves of emotions. Just know you're not breaking. Okay, your system is stretching because the planetary lattice is stretching. This is what is happening now and will continue to happen. You're being summoned as a cell of Earth's remembering. Just remember that. One of the spiral arms anchoring this transition. So let's ground that expansion into our bodies now, linking vessel, land, and stars. So I offer you what the Codex calls the convergence chord breath. 5, 3, 5. You're going to inhale for 5. Draw a starlight through the crown into your chest. Hold for 3, feeling your heart expand into the geometry of the white lattice. And then exhale for 5. Send golden breath down the bedrock, locking your presence into the grid. So let's do this for 2 rounds. 5, 3, 5. Breathing in. Hold for 3. Expand. Exhale. Again, inhale. Hold for 3. Exhale for 5. Let your body flow. Let it spiral. Let it move any which way it needs to. Let the field move around you. Let it recalibrate, realign. Remember to allow your breath to spiral. This world is no longer linear. We move in a resonance-led world, and Mother Earth's womb spiral is online and is calling for you to connect through your feeling body. The grid is not outside you. You are the lattice, and every breath is a beam of light. Thank you for standing in the field with me. Prepare your systems. The time is locking in, and return has begun. I will see you in the next spiral transmission.